木头姐的2026年大主意来了。其实2025年 ARK 已经获得了将近40%的收益，2026年将继续加速。我们来看一下他是怎么说的。
I'd like to start with a section we're calling the Great Acceleration. And what we're trying to communicate is that AI is in early stages still, and that it has miles to go.
首先，他是对宏观经济的论述，他用了一个专门的一个词，叫做大加速 （The Great Acceleration）。凯西伍德认为，受 AI 和生产力提升的驱动，到2030年，全球实际 GDP 的增长率将会加速到7%以上。他将此比作历史上的阶梯式变革。在1900年之前的400年里面，全球 GDP 年均增长率才0.6%。随着工业革命、铁路、电力等到来，过去的125年平均增长率跃升了3%，提升了5倍。保守估算，他认为目前7%的预测甚至偏向保守，因为当前5个创新平台——机器人、能源存储、AI、多组学测序、区块链正在同时发生相互融合。ARK 预测这一周期资本支出占 GDP 的比例最终上升到12%，这跟互联网时期的泡沫还不一样。虽然目前科技资本支出占 GDP 的比例已经接近了2000年的互联网泡沫时期，但当时铺设了太多的都是闲置的光纤，而现在 GPU 处于供不应求的阶段，而且被高效的利用。1800年代的铁路建设资本支出占 GDP 的5%到6%，1900年初汽车热潮占3%到4%，而当前 AI 浪潮预计将远超这个历史阶段。数据中心基础设施的市场规模预计将从目前的5000亿美元激增至2030年的1.4万亿美元，而这些基础设施将获得极高的回报率。他举例说，比如说像 ChatGPT 这种每个月20美元的订阅费用，如果你是重度用户，半个工作日就能收回回报。
Thank goodness we had the ChatGPT moment, because that was the aha moment for all of us. As we were saying, wait a minute, look what I can do with this. This is a miracle. And now we see, as we've done the analysis, and you'll find this in Big Ideas, that $20 subscription that each of us pays here at ARC, well, actually, ARC pays for it, but the $20 per seat subscription, and in a few cases, the $200 per month subscription for those heavy users, the $20 we're paying off in about a half day's work. So the payoff time is almost nothing, as we are able to do our research and leverage our time enormously.
同时，木头姐认为 AI 人工智能也将极大的影响消费市场。预计未来65%的广告市场和25%的商业购物将由 AI 助手或者 AI 生成驱动。
On the consumer side, so Nick and Varshika have done this work, and I think they might have been 2 years ago the first ones to even think about this concept of an AI purchasing agent, or now we're calling them AI assistants, and other such things. But based on that work, and you can see it in Big Ideas, they believe that the advertising market is going to go to 65% in this AI space, AI-generated space, and that shopping, commerce will be, I think that it will be 25% of it will be powered by the AI space.
同时，木头姐毫无疑问的继续看好比特币。他提到了2025年曾经发生的那个闪崩的事件，他认为那次只是一个技术性的故障。同时，他对比特币所谓的4年周期也是不屑一顾。
David, in the Bitcoin realm, it's been controversial this year because we had the drawdown after the flash crash, 1010, in October. We think that a lot of the deleveraging associated with, really, that was a software glitch, I think at Binance, that deleveraging, automated deleveraging, caused $28 billion of carnage. We think we've worked through that now. And I think the main question on Bitcoiners' minds is, okay, are we finished with the traditional 4-year downdraft? Every 4 years, a downdraft in the cycle. We're beginning to think we are, although we could base here in the $80,000 to $90,000 range for a while. But we do believe the next inflection is up.
同时，木头姐完全不同意所谓的人工智能会导致大量失业这个说法。他认为，恰恰是这些人工智能的软件为这些个创业者提供了非常好的平台。
Given the robotics movement of, and AI, everyone being thrown out of jobs, we disagree. We think this is going to be one of the greatest opportunities for the entrepreneurial spirit in history, especially because you can go to ChatGPT or Grok and say, I think there's a huge unmet need for this, that, or the other product or service. Think about it. And I would like to start that business. Boy, when we started ARC, I would have loved to have a starting point like that. And you can work with ChatGPT, XAI, Grok, to build your business. Try it. If you're looking for a job, figure out what's that unmet need. I'm going to try and start that business. And believe me, starting a business, very exciting, exhilarating, actually.
同时，木头姐说，在生命科学领域也在加速的取得进展。通过血液检查就能发现非常早期的癌症，甚至连息肉的脱落都能发现。
But I think multiomics, which is life sciences, and really the convergence among sequencing technologies, artificial intelligence, and new technologies like CRISPR gene editing. What are we doing? We're diagnosing cancer in stage 1 or before stage 1. Polyps also shed into the blood. And this is just with blood tests. We're collapsing the cost of drug discovery and development. We think it could drop from $2.4 billion for one drug to roughly $700 million over the next 4 years. And that, of course, includes the failures along the way. And then most provocatively, and Shay has done an amazing job of documenting what a cure is going to be worth. And I have to give Brett Winton incredible credit as he partnered with Shay on this project to try and figure out how much is a cure worth. And we think while the cure for HAE, which is a very rare disease, would be worth $11 million, one and done. You get this treatment and you're done. That's Intellia's trial right now, and it's in vivo. You don't have to go through any excruciating preconditioning. It could be worth $11 million. That's how much it would save the system.
同时，木头姐指出，在2026年，自动驾驶、航天与能源都有突破性发展。所以，如果以上这些逻辑都能成立的话，2026年真的就是一个大加速之年。我们拭目以待吧。我是沙滩散人，我持续关注 AI 发展带来的各种影响，欢迎点赞与订阅，谢谢，谢谢。